Hello and welcome to my channel again. This is Cody Marshall, trying to bring hope to the hopeless out there who have been diagnosed or believe you have myalgic encephalomyelitis, or ME, also known as chronic fatigue syndrome, but as I suggested in my first video, we wouldn't be referring it to that anymore because it's an unfortunate label that gives the wrong impression. Hopefully you enjoy being outside with me. Forgive the heavy breath, but I'm going to take advantage of my ability to be on my feet. And just know that it hasn't been a perfect week for me, as I have been taking the rifampin that has taken me to a new level of Herxheimer's. And so I've struggled to get out of bed, but I'm feeling really good again. And we'll soon be introducing the oxymetrine that we're going to talk about today as we discuss the viral component to ME. And as a subtopic, I also want to talk about how your doctor is possibly making you worse or putting you at risk, okay? This is why you need to become your own doctor with this. So let me tell you about a special doctor who specializes in ME because his son had it. And you can look this up. It's a Dr. Chia. And yeah, that's right, it's spelled just like the chia seeds. And his son had it, so he's decided to specialize in it. He now has a 6-month waiting list, and he has a very interesting way of diagnosing it along with his protocol. Now, every patient apparently, I will say allegedly, goes through the same diagnostic process where an intestinal biopsy is taken in order to look for the enterovirus. Okay, now this is important information because the doctor believes that the enterovirus is paramount in our issue. And I don't disagree, but I think what Dr. Chia is missing is he's focusing so much attention on the viral component. I think he's missing other possibilities and possibly subjecting people to further issues down the road, and we'll talk about that. So what is fascinating is that this doctor coincidentally does a similar protocol to the one I did, and I discussed it. He had their patients use rifampin, which is an antibiotic that basically makes the reproduction of RNA impossible. And that way, this antibiotic is also effective on many types of viruses. It even works on fungus. So it's a very powerful medicine. But here's where I think Dr. Chia is failing. He is not combining it with other antibiotic, which is basically the first thing you would read about if you looked up rifampin, is that it's always combined with another antibiotic. And the reason being is that things quickly become used to it, and so there's it becomes less effective as you go on if it's not combined with another antibiotic, okay? With that, I think Dr. Chia is making a profound mistake in prescribing just oxymetrine. Well, and he actually also tries to sell his own proprietary blend that has oxymetrine in it, and it's got other natural substances, and they're probably helpful and stuff like that, but oxymetrine is really what he's trying to get you to take. But the oxymetrine with rifampin is probably very good at combating the virus. The problem you're going to run into is that the bacteria that, rocking you a little bit. But other pathogens in your body will become immune to that and grow a resistance that will mean you can't use it again in the future, at least not in the near distant future. So, or the near future, excuse me. Sorry about the panting. Trying to articulate my stuff while I'm going on a hike, and I hope you can appreciate this, that instead of looking at me, you get to see the outdoors. But hopefully this information is helpful. So it's my opinion that Dr. Chia is missing it, and your doctor could too, that prescribing rifampin without another antibiotic is dangerous. And I think that's of concern. Now, I'm looking forward to trying the oxymetrine myself in the near future, as my Herxheimer's has started to diminish ever since I started taking the doxycycline with the rifampin. As you can see, I'm out and about, feeling very good today. And so I'm looking forward to trying that additional piece, the oxymetrine. But I will continue the rifampin with the doxycycline in order to continue to eradicate what I have. Because let's say if you had tuberculosis and you were prescribed rifampin, you would take it for at least 6 months. That's at least 6 months. And it's very effective against tuberculosis, which is a bacteria in your lung. So with that said, bear in mind that if you do acquire the rifampin, plan to take it for a very significant long time, but try taking it with another antibiotic and wait until you have recovered some from the Herxheimer's, which is basically the die-off symptoms that happen. So the toxicity in your body increases after you start taking this medication, because you start killing off all the germs and all of their guts and innards and poisons start entering your body. So you'll feel worse for a little while, but it's typically only about a week long, maybe 10 days in some cases. But if you have liver issues, you definitely do want to get a doctor test before you start it. You can, in rare cases, have liver dysfunction and liver failure as a result of taking rifampin. Okay, so it doesn't sound like I'm talking much about the viral component. So Dr. Chia makes a mistake, I believe, as well, by having every patient go through an intestinal biopsy, right? The reason I think it's a mistake is because he's finding about, I think it's somewhere around 50% of his patients have the enterovirus, which is what he's looking for. And then they're all ending up with the same protocol anyway. And I don't know if you're familiar, but it seems that these procedures have a tendency to also create issues for us. The equipment used is not properly cleaned anymore, and they have very highly resistant bugs to antiseptics that enter your body now and can cause additional problems. So it's my non-expert opinion that it seems like it's an unnecessary procedure that should be avoided. And so I think that's unfortunate that he's subjecting people to it, but it's also providing information that helps with the future diagnostics. So, but as you can see, with 50% or so people having the enterovirus, that's nothing compared to the 93% that are found to have fungal infection. And I think he's ignoring the fungal piece to this, and people are walking away from his services with a long-standing fungal infection that they're going to deal with indefinitely. And here's why I think that's an issue, is because there's a fungal connection to all kinds of disorders, including cancer. And so it's unfortunately that he doesn't address that, but he is going for the viral component. And the good news about that is he's primarily using a medication that's just a holistic natural route that anyone can get without doctor prescription. So if presently right now you're not with a doctor and you're not taking other medications yet, or you've given up on whatever protocol you've had before, I suggest you go online, see if you can order some of the oxymetrine and get started on that. You will likely feel some dizzy symptoms and other side effects from it, but it will start to go to work on the virus. Now, the Dr. Chia that I mentioned before, the reason he adds the rifampin is because he believes it increases the effect of the oxymetrine. And I'm no doctor, but I believe it's because the rifampin actually is a primary solution, and the oxymetrine just kind of helps boost its effectiveness. So really, I do think that you need to look at the rifampin. Again, I admit I could be wrong. This is based on my own experience and my own research online, but you possibly have something very different than I do, and you might respond differently to different medications as well. So with that said, start trying them out. The point of this channel is to use medication to diagnose your issue, because likely there are other pathogens that we haven't even discussed yet. Things like worms and amoebas that we'll get to eventually, but The big three being the fungus, bacteria, and viral that you need to address. Anyway, it's been a lengthy discussion today on why you shouldn't trust your doctor and how you need to be your own doctor. I will say that if you're struggling to find the medications that we talk about, leave a comment in the comment section, and maybe I can help you try to find what you're looking for. With or without your doctor, there may be some ways to find the medications you need, depending upon your region and depending upon the legality. There is typically a way to do it no matter what. So with that, this is Cody Marshall signing off for today. Again, I hope I brought you some help. I hope you enjoyed the outdoors with me. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you out on the mountain someday too. Take care, and I'll talk to you.